On today's Try to Finish Something, I finally have some free time to work on something for me. Something for my Star Wars room build. And of course, it's raining. I have two builds that I'm working on. Both are very big builds that are going to take a lot of time. Am I the only one that works on two things at the same time? When I'm working on a build, I sometimes get stuck or I need to work through some ideas in my head. And while I'm doing that, I don't want to waste that little bit of free time, so I'll work on my other build while I'm thinking about it and then switch back and forth between the two. It's probably just me. I'm a little odd. But Kelly Stern of Props and Villainy, of course, you know, he's known for all of the really cool wall panels and things that he builds. He's a guy who's part of the same maker communities that I'm a part of, and he makes some really cool wall panels. I saw recently he was using this cool Greeblie to house one of these, a hard drive motor, and he bought his inside Disneyland at Galaxies Edge. I wanted one, but I didn't have one. But I've got some really cool equipment that might allow me to make something similar. So I'm going to work on some Greeblies that will later be used in both of the projects that I'm working on. I'm going to make a Greeblie and make it available for you. That's what I'm going to do on today's Try to Finish Something. So this is my process for designing something. This is the picture that Kelly Stern sent me. Kelly, as you know, is the king of wall panels from Props and Villainy, and he bought these Star Wars binders inside Galaxy's Edge and was going to use them as a Greeblie cuff for a hard drive motor. I wanted one, but they were like $50 on eBay, so off to Adobe Illustrator and to the Glowforge. I figured I could make something similar with a few stacked layers, and I could make this instead of spending $30 more than they were sold for inside the park. When I design something, I go into it knowing that it will not be a one and done. It's going to take a few iterations before I am happy with it. I had to change my philosophy about that because I used to get so angry when something wouldn't work, and I've just decided it's going to take more than one try. Also, I am making two different versions, and I'll get to that in just a minute. I am sending everything off to the Glowforge. Why am I on my phone? I am super lazy, and I'll explain that a little bit later as well. When I'm doing something with layers, I try and design it with some of the design, like these holes, on multiple layers so that I can take something like these finishing nails and use them for alignment while I'm gluing. I'm just trying to make sure that everything fits and looks like I want it to look. I did get measurements of the original from Kelly Stern, so I know the sizing is fairly close. The hard drive motor fits perfectly on this version. All right, so now the other version. I have these spent LED bulbs that I would like to do something with because I really like the look of the bottom side of these, and I want to make a cuff version to fit these as well. And my hole size, it's way off. The battery is really low on my digital calipers, and I think they're giving me wonky readings. Oh, I know, I did it. Can I even say that? Can I say wonky? I never know what I can say that is politically correct anymore. I am probably going to offend somebody from Germany using the word wonky. Did you know that wonkel means shaky or unstable in German? And it's where that term wonky originated. Why am I still talking? My family says that I take jokes way too far, and these tangents, I just don't know when to stop. I'm so far away on this tangent, I can't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, hey, look, let's assemble a prototype of the hard drive motor version just to see what changes I would like to make. See the way I did that? You don't even remember I was off on a tangent. I brought that all the way back around. Now, this whole thing will just be assembled with CA glue. This wood really soaks the glue in and gives a pretty quick, sturdy bond. And remember, this is just a prototype. I'm not going to stress about the alignment, making sure that it stacks up perfectly. I just need it to be close. Now, before I glued the rest of it together, I had to go into the garage and spray these. It's still raining pretty good, and I'm too impatient to wait for the paint to dry, so the hairdryer will help out with that. Now, you don't normally want to glue painted pieces together because the bond is only as good as the paint is stuck to the wood. You are basically gluing the paint on one surface to the paint on the other. Again, I am impatient, and this is just a prototype. Let's just glue this together, and it just needs to be fairly good on the alignment. Okay, it's together and the hard drive motor fits. Let's see what changes I want to make. No need to weather this since it is just a prototype. No need to... Yes, I am weathering it. I am just using brown, black, yellow, orange, and a rusty color acrylic paint and doing some dry brushing and then wiping it off. I didn't seal this first, so I have to creep up on the color because I don't have a long wipe-off time and the color soaks in quickly. Can we talk rust for just a minute? I have a small group of nerds that I chat with on Facebook. It's Kelly, Garland, Jake, Brett, and Jamie, and we all make things and talk about our builds. I will link their channels in the video description below, but we wound up talking about Star Wars and rust, and I've had so many people complain about me putting rust on my props. Star Wars metals are not able to rust, Shawn. They are usually durasteel, and that alloy is not prone to rust. Stupid. Okay, look. Maybe it doesn't rust, but it does something that looks like rust, and I'll fight you to the death if you want to tell me that that sandcrawler doesn't look rusty. I love the look of Galaxies Edge and Mandalorian, and there are a lot of things in there that have a rust look, and I am taking a stand. I am painting rust. Great. Now I'm going to lose more subscribers after that tangent and rant about rust. I'm just painting chips and scratches. I'm not doing any masking fluids or chips at all. Remember, I'm not even supposed to be painting this. This is a prototype. Okay, I am done with this version to see what I like and what I don't like. Glamour shots. So here it is. Not even sure if you can see here, but I glued this piece on upside down and then had to flip it over, and there was a little bit of glue that didn't get wiped off. It's a prototype. I think it needs more interest in the area down here around the hard drive motor, so in the redesign, I will change that. And this top layer of phalanges, I would like there to be at least 2 layers. And these tabs on the side are for mounting it to a wall or inside your box. And I now realize that the holes that are for LEDs might be hard to drill out for wires. So I want to make a channel in the first layer to make it easier to route the wires or give you another option for mounting them. And next version. Well, that didn't work. Tried to glue it together and then tried to move the layer and I broke it. All right, 3rd time's a charm. Yeah, nope, I am not that good. How about the 8th time? That's how the saying goes, right? 8th time's a charm. Here are all my layers with your 2 center options for the hard drive and the light bulb. Oh, and the lazy I was talking about earlier, when I start the Glowforge, it's too much trouble to go and push that little blinking blue button. So I bought an Alexa-controlled switch that I can start the Glowforge from anywhere by voice or with an app. I know, I am totally pathetic. Okay, 2 versions glued together and everything is fitting just like I wanted. I glued these together the same way, except I sanded the edges so they really lined up pretty. And I even filled in the layers. Your level of anal retention may vary. I did make the top flange thicker, and I made the channel for the option of running wires to the side. And that is a good pressure fit of that hard drive motor. Okay, let's give these some paint, and I'm going to paint them a little bit different this time. Yep, I am doubling down on pissing people off with rust. But wait, first, a quick hard drive motor weathering tangent. Spray your shiny motor with flat black, and then use a little bit of steel wool to give it a weathered look. Chef's kiss. comes out nice. So here we go. Rust. I painted these with a layer of flat black and then gray. I did a little bit of silver here and there and then black again, and I let that dry for about an hour or so. Now, this warm caramel color I just put on about 20 minutes ago, and it's still barely tacky. This is my secret to how I did my Mandalorian armor paint. Because of all of the layers, I can scratch the soft top layer off using different amounts of pressure and expose the other colors below, giving me some color variations in the chipping. And it's a pretty convincing effect with very little effort. I actually came up with this technique by accident, and it works out great. See, look at that. You came to my videos for stupid tangents, and you wound up with a useful tip. I know, who would have thunk it? Now, let me get you a close-up of how you get the different colors in the chips. Not bad, huh? Now, I am just re-blacking the spots that I want full black with the acrylic paint. Going to do the inner gear-like teeth and going to do some washes with black watered down just to grime it up a little bit. I am just using super cheap acrylic on all of this weather. I am also going to reapply black to the outer edges. Now to weather the bulb up just a little bit. I'm adding some grime with watered down black. Now, let's get a little bit more rust and grime on this bulb. I am getting it deep into the grooves and areas where the rust would pool up, and I'm blending it out there with my finger without taking the color out of the deep recesses, because that's where the grime would build up there. Now, I'm just adding a few drips. And remember, if you want these files, they are always yours for free. It's my way of thanking you for sitting through all of this nonsense. All you have to do is join my Facebook group, Try to Finish Something, and they will be in the Documents section. But I think I'm calling this Star Wars Binder Cuff Greeblie finished. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, consider joining my Patreon. Maybe tell someone else about the channel, or even grab something off of my Amazon wish list that I will pin in the comments down below. And if you didn't, as always, just keep it to yourself, and we'll see you next time as we try to finish something. Don't forget to join my Facebook group. All files and templates I make are yours free. And don't forget, stick around for glam shots right after this.